hot day in the Central Valley in California. So I'm getting my dinner, my stuff prep ahead of time. So it's gonna be a hot week. So today I decided to make some focaccia bread. Focaccia bread is an Italian bread, and I like to do focaccia bread because I have a lot of herbs growing in my garden. It's beautiful right now. So that's one way of me using all my herbs and doing something different. Focaccia bread, you can eat it just by itself, or you can add cheese to it and turn it into almost like a pizza, or you can use it and slice it and make a sandwich. I love to make paninis with it. It makes a wonderful panini. So today I'm going to show you how I make my focaccia bread. So let's get started. I'm going to use my mixer. And I'm going to mix all this today, and it has to refrigerate it 8 hours or up to 24 hours. So it's good to do like the day before, the night before. You want to mix the dough. It only takes 4 ingredients to mix the dough, so it's very easy. And if you don't have a mixer, you can mix it with a wooden spoon. I've done that too, but my mixer was out, so I decided to use it. So in here I have 2 cups of warm water. I have 2 1/4 teaspoons of instant yeast. I have 2 teaspoons kosher salt. Put that into. And I'm going to put all my flour. I have 4 cups of flour. I'm going to use this so I don't make a mess. So I'm going to put all my flour. Always make a mess. You've heard me and the mixer. Anyway, so now I'm going to put this on medium and just let that do its thing and mix it. Once it's all kind of incorporated, I put it on high for about 3 minutes. I don't like to beat my dough. You want to kind of loosen a little bit of that gluten, but you don't want it where it will be too tough. So I'm going to let this beat, and then I'm going to move it up, and I'll show you when I come back. My dough is beaten for the 3 minutes. So now I'm going to put it in this bowl. I put some olive oil in the bowl, and you want to coat the whole bowl with olive oil. And we're going to take this dough and see how nice and smooth it is. So by beating those 3 minutes. So you put it in a bowl, roll it around, and let it sit there. And now we're gonna cover with saran wrap, and it's gonna stay in a refrigerator overnight. So if you want to do this for tomorrow's dinner or for tomorrow's meal, you do this the night before because it needs to rest for 8 hours. And it can stay up to 24 hours in your refrigerator. So I added about 1/4 cup of flour more to the dough. It was still a little wet. So if you find it's too wet, that it's not separating from the bowl from when you're beating, then add a little bit at a time until it completely separates. And then once you put it in this bowl, now we'll go and put it in the refrigerator. I'll show you. Okay, friends, I have my dough ready from the refrigerator. I made this one last night, so I would have something to work today. So now I'm gonna shape it and put it in the pans. I'm gonna do mine in a cookie sheet, but if you don't wanna do in a cookie sheet, you can do on the cake pans. You have to butter the pans and put parchment paper, whatever size of pans you like. Sometimes I make small ones like this because it's easier for my family, and I freeze the other ones that I don't use, so they are easy to put in a freezer. But it's up to you. But this one, I'm gonna use it, and I'm gonna give it away some of my family and friends. So I'm gonna make it big. So in here on the parchment paper, I'm gonna put a little bit of olive oil and kind of just drizzle around, move it around, and then I'm gonna cut half. This is gonna give me 2 nice big size focaccia bread. So you cut the dough, and I'm gonna shape it, and I'm gonna cover with oil. And when I'm covering with the oil, I'm gonna stretch it to whatever size I want. And this is gonna go back to rising. You're gonna rise this again. So just keep shaping to that size that you like. I like to make it this way because I can cut it in half, and it makes a nice size for a sandwich. It almost looks like a roll. So I'm gonna keep flipping. It might take a little practice, but just keep flipping and try to make that shape. So this one is done. I make it this shape, and I'm gonna put it aside. And like I said, it's gonna rise again. So I put a little bit of olive oil, and then I put the other half. And this is gonna sit here for about an hour, depending how hot it is. It's gonna be hot today, so between an hour to up to 3 hours to rise. And when you know what is the desire, when it's ready to bake, is whenever it doubles in size, and if you make holes, it stays. You can see the holes, the indentation of the holes. So anyway, so I'm gonna let this sit here. I'm gonna cover with the saran wrap, and then a towel, and it's gonna sit here and rest for a little bit, and then I'll show you what happens after. And it's been 2.5 hours with my focaccia bread, so I think now I'll do the next step, and I'll show you. And you can see it kind of has grown a little bit. So now you want to dip your fingers in oil, because you don't want dough, and you're gonna make holes all over the dough. You just put all your imprints in all the dough. You do this everywhere, and don't be afraid to do all these dimples, and the dough is gonna go down, but it's gonna come back. And then in here I have fresh garlic and fresh thyme and rosemary. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drizzle. I'm gonna brush, let's say. I'm gonna brush this over and picking some of those bits of the garlic, and I put it in the microwave for 30 seconds, just so the olive oil gets some of that garlic flavor, and the rosemary and the thyme. So you brush all this, and then you can leave it just as it is. You don't have to do anything else, but I'm gonna try to do something different that I've seen it on Pinterest. I've never done it, but I'm gonna try it. Let me show you. Move this over here. This is chives, and I'm gonna make it try to make like a bouquet. I'm using the chives as like the branches for the bouquet. And you can wiggle this around. It makes the most beautiful designs and things you can do with little things you have at home. So I'm gonna wiggle this one around. And you, like I said, you don't have to do this. You can cut them. And so, and in here I have cherry tomatoes, the yellow kind, and I'm just gonna press them down so gentle in different places, and pretend that these are some flowers coming up out of this little branch out of here. And like I said, you don't have to do this, but it just looks, it looks like a painting. When you're done, it is just beautiful. In here I have is the mini peppers. It's these peppers you buy. So I cut them real thin, and I'm gonna use them to make like also different arrangements. And you can use whatever color you do. Like I said, I've never done this, but I saw in Pinterest, and that's what made me think I gotta make some focaccia bread, because that's how I am. I see something and I gotta do it. And there's more orange. And there's no right way, wrong way to do this. Is however you see you can fit. Also, I have lots of basil in my yard, and I'm gonna put some basil for the leaves. Just put some basils here and there. And like I said, it's like a painting. I was mesmerized when I saw this. I couldn't have put the iPad down because I wanted to see what else can I do. And when I saw it, I go, I have to do this. And like I said, you just keep playing. And if you take one of these to your friend's house or to a party, they're gonna say, wow. Maybe a little bit more cherry there. I need some more red. It needs some more red in here. I'm gonna make this one a smaller one, like a smaller bouquet. And then maybe another one here. And you don't have to fill it up. You just do it as you please. But if you make this, and this is a meal in itself, just eating this. Like that. Let's see, another one here. Kind of staggered them. I need a small leaf over here. And you can just press whatever. Doesn't have to be, could be some petals that fell down. Okay, look at this. How beautiful is this? If you take this to your friends, they're gonna say, wow. And here it is, focaccia bread. So I'm gonna do the other one, and then I'll bake them and I'll tell you when they're. And I'm gonna put this, my oven, I turned it to 450. So once it reached the 450, and once I put the bread in the oven, I'm gonna turn to 425. And it's gonna cook until it's all golden on top and the bottom is a little crispy. So I'm gonna put this in the oven, and then when I come back, I'll come back when I'll take them out. Here it is, my friend. I just took my focaccia bread, and here it looks. It looks divine. And here's the other one. And like I said, it looks like a painting. If you do one of these, your friends will be so impressed. And I'm gonna cut it so we can see the texture on the inside. And it is so light. It is so fluffy. Look. Oh my goodness. It's just so good. And here you have it. Focaccia bread. Who would have known? So, challenge yourself and try it. It's very easy. And like I said, the designs on top, you do what you want. If you don't want to do all this, you don't have to. But try it. You will love it.